in tan or chocolate. Only $3.99, only at My Bob's Discount Furniture.
Good morning, America. Breaking news, the number of California wildfires exploding. Nearly 24 burning at this hour, forcing more people from their homes overnight. An entire town of 5,000 evacuating, neighborhoods destroyed, more than 8,000 firefighters now battling the flames as winds pick up, and the smoke from wine country pouring into San Francisco, shutting down schools, delaying flights. Officials call this a worst-case scenario.
Also breaking right now, reports one of the top ISIS recruiters, known as the White Widow, is dead. Was she killed in a drone strike?
Harvey Weinstein speaks to cameras for the first time.
You know what? We all make mistakes. Second chance, I hope.
Reportedly checking into rehab as the number of accusers grows. And now Weinstein's former protege, Ben Affleck, facing questions. What he's saying now about his own inappropriate behavior.
And no longer a boys' club, the Boy Scouts announcing an historic change, saying they'll now accept girls. For the first time in more than 100 years, now the Girl Scouts firing back.
Live in Times Square, this is GMA with Robin Roberts, George Stephanopoulos, and Michael Strahan.
And we do say good morning, America, and the Girl Scouts just released a blistering statement.
Boy, they sure did, saying the Boy Scouts a house on fire and a whole lot more. We're going to have more on that coming up. But first, the threat from those massive wildfires in California. It is growing right now, at least 22 fires burning. Thousands more were forced to evacuate overnight.
Hundreds of people are still reported missing. California's top fire official is calling this a critical, catastrophic event, saying the fires are burning faster than firefighters can run.
And the scale of the damage is really coming into focus right now. Look at this drone footage right here. It shows the town of Santa Rosa. It's just laid to waste right there. Our senior national correspondent Matt Gutman is there. Good morning, Matt.
Good morning, George. When you see those fires on the march, you get a sense for why officials here are saying there's no hope of stopping these fires right now. They are only trying to slow them down. Now, there is an army of firefighters out here from 1,000 different departments, 5 different states. Now, this was the Cardinal Newman High School. You can see what the intensity of these fires can do to places like this. And with the death toll here rising to 23 overnight, the focus now is not saving property, it's just saving lives.
Officials are calling the inferno a worst-case scenario.
These fires are just literally burning faster than firefighters can run.
Overnight, the winds picking up speed, spreading the fire at a feverish pace. This scene a chilling reminder of the brutal conditions that more than 8,000 firefighters face here. As this home burns to the ground, firefighters must give up and focus on saving the houses not yet in flames. And as the fire looms over downtown Sonoma, business owners scrambling to save whatever they can.
I built 30 years of my business, and I'm not letting fire take it.
Mandatory evacuations turning thriving communities into ghost towns. And an eerie silence now hanging over the small town of Calistoga in the heart of wine country after police went door to door telling everyone in the community of 5,000 to get out now. That advanced warning, not a luxury afforded to Santa Rosa, 17 miles away. There, the fire swept through so fast that many first responders and residents were trapped. This video, just shared by Travis Hahn, shows his dramatic escape as the wall of fire tore through his neighborhood. And so many couldn't make it out at all. We arrived at this mobile home park just after Bob Tunis found his mother's body.
Probably just didn't hear people knocking on her door at 3 a.m. I don't know.
This embrace told his sister Jessica, who spoke to their mother just as the fire swept through, what she already feared.
I hear the smoke alarms going off, and she's coughing, and I'm telling her I love her, and she tells me she's gonna die. She can't get out of her house. She's gonna die.
This mobile home park has been reduced to a field of ashes. And just minutes ago, a victim was identified here in the rubble. And law enforcement tells us that when you look at the tops of those melted mobile homes, you can understand why they believe that there are more victims here.
And from above, the view, nothing but the grayed, smudged outlines of where so many houses once stood.
And when you look at this from up above on that camera there, you can see how disastrous this was for this school. There were 600 kids here, and right there you can see air conditioner units that have fallen through. Behind me, I think you can make out those file cabinets and servers right behind them. All of the school's books, all of the school's servers completely destroyed. Now, I want to give you a sense of what these pieces of mangled metal are right here. These are school desks, and there are hundreds of them here. Now, luckily, none of the students were here at the time the fire swept through, but I also want to give you a sense of why this is so dangerous for firefighters to get through these places. There are nails pretty much everywhere you look. I want to show you something over here, too, guys. These were temporary classrooms. They're not built to withstand fires like this, and they essentially melted as the fire swept through here. And when you look at the totality here, you can understand how affected this community was. Schools, businesses, homes, and of course lives. Guys.
Yeah. Wait, so we've never seen a fire level an entire town like that.
And the way the fires move so quickly. We're going to go to Ginger now, and the smoke from these fires are now moving into the Bay Area. They're even shutting down schools, Ginger?
Yeah, at least 5 school districts are shutting down, colleges and libraries shutting down, because this is what it looks like. The air quality just this bad, and this goes well beyond the fire areas. San Francisco Airport had 1 in 4 flights delayed. They had major delays for incoming traffic, and you can see why. This is the satellite image. We'll circle where the fires are, because some of those high clouds get out of there. You can see the northern edge of them with that north to northeast wind blowing the smoke directly over the Bay Area, where so many people are focused. And this also hurts the firefight. The inversion traps that smoke, and they can't fight the fire until they can see. So a lot of times they can't get up to later in the afternoon. Air quality alerts, Fresno and Bakersfield, Redding to Sacramento, Santa Barbara included, all in red flag warnings. We're going to show you the winds and how low the humidity is going into the weekend, coming up in just a moment. George.
Yeah, we'll come back to you in a bit, Ginger, but now to the White House, where the president is set to sign an executive order on health care this morning. He says it will give some consumers more choice and lower premiums. Critics argue it will undermine the protections of the Affordable Care Act. Also this morning, the president will nominate his new Secretary for Homeland Security. That seat was vacated when John Kelly became White House Chief of Staff, and now Kelly's deputy, Kirstjen Nielsen, will fill the post. And President Trump is escalating his war with the media as he pushes his tax plan. Our chief White House correspondent John Carl has all the latest. Good morning, John.
Good morning, George. The president has said his tax plan is a middle-class miracle, and now he is taking that message to those that he claims will benefit the most.
In Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, Wednesday, President Trump told supporters he's happy with his life in the White House.
I had a very good life, but you know what? I'm having a better life now, and I'm helping a lot of people.
The president says his tax plan will help the middle class.
So many people have come up to me and say, give it to the middle class. Give it to people that need it. Give it to people that want to spend it.
He offered no new details on the plan, which will cut taxes for most Americans, including what will likely be a big break for some of the wealthiest Americans.
And remember, you'll do your tax on a single piece of paper. H&R Block will not like Donald Trump very much.
The president claimed his plan would mean a $4,000 windfall for the typical American family. But his top economic advisor has said he could not guarantee that no middle-class American families would pay more under the administration's plan.
Meanwhile, the president is escalating his war on the news media, overnight threatening again to try to take away broadcast licenses from TV networks, tweeting, "Network news has become so partisan, distorted, and fake that licenses must be challenged and, if appropriate, revoked. Not fair to the public." This after the president seemed to question the freedom of reporters to write their stories.
And it's frankly disgusting the way the press is able to write whatever they want to write. And people should look into it.
Those words have drawn a rebuke from Republican Senator Ben Sasse, who overnight put out a statement saying, "Mr. President, are you recanting the oath you took on January 20th to preserve, protect, and defend the First Amendment?" Also, George, on this question of revoking broadcast licenses for the networks, the national networks that he is feuding with actually don't have broadcast licenses. Those are granted to the individual stations. So we had a statement overnight from one of the FCC commissioners, a Democrat. She tweeted to the president, "Not how it works," and then added, "Freedom of press is a cornerstone of our democracy. Hope my FCC colleagues can all be on the same page with respect to the First Amendment."
Yeah, this threat to TV networks is a favorite tool of strongmen everywhere, but in this case from the president, it's really an empty threat.
It's an empty threat. He does not have the power to do this, George. And the only thing is if the FCC theoretically went after each and every local station across the country, nobody thinks that's actually going to happen.
The president does have the power to decertify this Iran nuclear deal. He's briefed Congress on it, expected to announce this tomorrow.
That's right, George, and all indications are that the president will not certify that Iran is in compliance with the deal. But an important distinction here, that does not mean that the United States is dropping out of the deal. What that means is it goes to Congress to decide what to do and whether or not to reimpose the sanctions that were dropped. Of course, George, Iran already got much of the economic benefit from the United States at the beginning of this deal, so dropping out of it now doesn't actually do much at this point.
Okay, John Carl, thanks very much. Robin?
And George, now to that breaking news. Reports this morning that the British ISIS recruiter known as the White Widow has been killed. For the very latest, let's go to our senior foreign correspondent, Ian Pannell, in London. Good morning, Ian.
Yeah, good morning, Robin. In the last hours, a number of reports here claiming the CIA has told British intelligence that Sally Jones was killed in a US drone strike earlier this year. Now, Jones is infamous in the UK, nicknamed the White Widow because of her blonde hair and her extremist views. Incredibly, she used to be a punk rock guitarist, but later converted to Islam, marrying her jihadi husband in ISIS and then moving to Syria. Sally Jones shared bizarre pictures of herself posing with weapons, becoming notorious for trying to recruit girls and women to join ISIS. She posted threatening messages encouraging women in the West to attack, even telling people how to make bombs. Now, importantly, this is not confirmed by US officials, but perhaps more proof the militants are feeling the pressure as the battle against ISIS in Syria starts to reach its climax.
And this battle has been going on for months. How close is ISIS to being defeated, Ian?
Well, I think US forces on the front line with local troops in that fight for Raqqa. This is the heart of the territory that ISIS used to control, and we're now hearing it could be liberated within weeks. Robin.
Hopefully so. All right, Ian, thank you.
Okay, Robin, back home, there are new developments this morning in the Las Vegas shooting. One victim has now filed the first lawsuit against the hotel as more question whether the gunman could have been stopped. Our chief investigative correspondent Brian Ross here with the story. Good morning, Brian.
Well, good morning, George. With the first of what is likely to be a rash of victims' lawsuits now filed, the timeline of the hotel and police response time is becoming a major issue. Most importantly, did the hotel fail to quickly tell police one of its guards had been shot on the 32nd floor? A maintenance man who was also fired on the 32nd floor made this call to his supervisors.
Call the police. Someone's firing a gun up here. Someone's firing a rifle on the 32nd floor down the hallway.
Security wants to know if you know a room.
It's at the end of the hallway. I can't tell you what room. He looked like he fired down the hallway when I got close to the door.
According to the police timeline, that was about 6 minutes before the shooter began his rampage against the concert audience below. But hotel security did not call the police until after the rampage was already underway, according to a person who has seen the records. If that checks out, it could be fodder for the victims' lawyers who claim the hotel dropped the ball and cost lives, George.
But the hotel is questioning the police timeline?
That's right. They tell us they do not think the police timeline is accurate, and we've learned the police are prepared to issue yet another revision of an already revised timeline sometime tomorrow, George.
More to come on this. Brian Ross, thanks very much.
Okay, George, now to new details about that tragic fraternity death at LSU. 10 young men are facing charges for hazing after a pledge died at a party last month. His blood alcohol level was a shocking 0.495. ABC's Steve Osunsami is there at the school in Baton Rouge. Good morning, Steve.
Good morning to you, Robin. This is the fraternity house where that pledge died. We're learning more about what happened that night. Police say that the evening began with the older pledges pelting the younger ones with mustard and hot sauce, and then it went terribly downhill from there. These are the pictures this morning that authorities want students here to remember. The brothers of Phi Delta Theta being led away in handcuffs after the hazing death of a freshman pledge. Police gave them until noon Wednesday to turn themselves in.
This is a young man who lost his life. We had a promising future. This should not happen under any circumstance.
All 10 are accused this morning of misdemeanor hazing, charges their attorneys argue didn't require this parade in front of cameras. 19-year-old Matthew Naukin is also charged with negligent homicide, a felony that could send him away for up to 5 years if convicted. Police say he was the most abusive.
We want to make sure that the parents, Mr. and Mrs. Groover, know exactly what happened to their son.
Freshman Max Groover died on September 13th after he and other pledges were invited to what the brothers called a Bible study, where they were asked questions about the fraternity and were forced to drink 190 proof grain alcohol when they got answers wrong. Witnesses tell police that Naukin never liked Groover and wanted him cut because he was always late for events. forcing Groover to drink that night after making mistakes. A coroner's report says that Groover's blood alcohol level was .495, 6 times the legal driving limit and past the point where death is possible. For a 180-pound man, about 26 drinks in 3 hours.
And all of us regret the tragic loss in the case.
This morning, Phi Delta Theta says it wants the authorities to prosecute those responsible to the fullest extent of the law. Groover's mother took her pain to Facebook, writing #StopTheHazing. My son is dead now. You brothers will have to live with it every day for the rest of your lives. The national organization of this fraternity is speaking out this morning, saying that it supports the police in their efforts here. Robin?
But got to agree with the mother there. Stop the hazing. Steve, thank you.
My goodness.
495. Wow.
That is just crazy. We're going to move on now to that big change for the Boy Scouts this morning. After more than 100 years, the organization voted unanimously to begin admitting girls to its ranks. That has drawn a fierce reaction from the Girl Scouts. ABC's Adrienne Bankert here with the story. Good morning, Adrienne.
Good morning to you both. Yes, this is huge. It's historic. The Boy Scouts leadership says this all came about after years of requests from busy families to have more options for the siblings of Boy Scouts. Now, while some applaud the shift, others are calling it a politically correct mistake. In recent years, the Boy Scouts have attempted to counter declining membership numbers in a variety of ways. Admitting girls as members was only recently discussed.
I think that girls should have the opportunity to join either program.
This morning, 16-year-old Sydney Ireland is among those celebrating girls. It's something she's been fighting for years. But leaders of the Girl Scouts are outraged. In a strongly worded statement, they condemn the Boy Scouts' move to include girls, telling ABC News the Boy Scouts' house is on fire. Instead of addressing systemic issues of continuous sexual assault, financial mismanagement, and deficient programming, BSA's senior management wants to add an accelerant to the house fire by recruiting girls. Girl Scouts generate half of their annual revenue needs through those famous cookies, selling 200 million boxes a year, which generate almost $1 billion in sales. No word if the Scouts will attempt their own cookie franchise. And girls have been welcome at group and family Boy Scout programs for over 40 years, but this is really a game changer. And as you saw there, of course, Girl Scouts, they kind of corner the market on those cookie sales, but Boy Scouts have the coveted Eagle Scout ranking, which Sydney Ingle and other girls want to attain.
Wait, can you imagine the reaction if they start to sell cookies?
Oh, that would...
It could be more explosive than this announcement.
Yeah, that was a pretty explosive announcement. But you know, hearing from parents who have both boys and girls and Boy Scouts and Girl Scouts, it's very interesting how they look at it. And it's far from over.
Definitely.
Let's put it that way.
Thanks,
Good way
Adrienne.
to put it.
Yeah.
Let's go back to Ginger.
And that fire forecast I promised you. So you've got a reinforcing cold front that's going to come through. And so today, really, through tonight would be the worst for the Bay Area as far as gusts go. You could see them up to 35, even 40 miles per hour. But then as we get into the weekend, Saturday really not looking good for parts of Southern California as far as fire weather goes, and humidity dropping. Your local weather in 30 seconds. First, the sunny cities, brought to you by CarMax.
When you buy a used car, you should feel confident. That's why CarMax has over 40,000 cars to choose from nationwide, with prices clearly marked, the same online as they are in the stores. That should give you some car buying confidence, the type of confidence you need to wear white after Labor Day, the type of confidence to suddenly switch to an English accent for no reason whatsoever. Yep, at CarMax, it's all about confidence. Nothing but net. Nailed it. Or should I say, nailed it, governor.
Cloud cover and some drizzle continues for the D.C. area through today, so it is going to be quite unsettled as you send the kids to the bus stop and also on the way home. Notice those temperatures only in the mid-60s today for a daytime high. Now, as we take a look at tonight, the Nationals playoffs Game 5, our first pitch at 8 o'clock. Notice the cloud cover continuing and also some scattered showers, so take the hoodie just to play it safe, and those temperatures will stay in the 60s through the end of the game.
And coming up here, Harvey Weinstein speaking to cameras for the first time as the disgraced movie mogul reportedly checks into rehab. Ben Affleck also in the crosshairs right now, apologizing for his own behavior.
And the beauty pageant dispute that's, well, it's turning ugly. Why one contestant says Miss Oregon doesn't have the right to the crown.
Hello? Hi, it's Anne from Edward Jones.
I'm glad I caught you.
Well, I'm just leaving.